It was something like, the only two things in life that make it worth living is guitars that tune good and, and I can't even remember the song right.
Ever since I played Baldur's Gate 3 at the end of 2023, I couldn't stop thinking about the originality of bard classes in RPGs and how not many of them really include bards. That's how I got my idea for an ideal bard companion for Fallout New Vegas. The development of this project started back in 2023, or at least I think so, and afterwards was abandoned. Because I wasn't sure how I would make the story progress further. And after 2 years of gaining experience in GECK by creating so far my most complex mod, Fallout Survivors, I decided to return to my bard companion. And this is the companion. His name is Hank and he comes from Vault 24, located in the northern parts of Nevada. The vault was controlled by different sounds or music to open or operate certain mechanisms, except the folk were too lazy to learn and adapt. There were very few enthusiasts who yearned to learn to play instruments, and Hank, together with his close friends, were one of the few talented enough. They formed a band and helped around the world, but Hank started to feel used by the dwellers. They always needed him for something. Hank, I locked myself in a room, or Hank, the stove isn't working. That's what he was fed up with the most. One day he found a piece of paper with lyrics written on it, of, as he calls it now, the most important song. When the band performed this song in front of the vault door, it began to unseal and they saw the starry sky outside for the first time in their life. The band left the vault, but no one else joined. You will be able to find out how they ended up in Vegas, ask about their adventures outside of it, and why did the band fall apart. The whole story then spirals down to Hank's nostalgia, visiting places where he used to play with others, and he begins to open up more about himself. That's just a snippet of Hank's story which I finished last week. I want to release this mod once the voice acting is ready, and in the beginning of this video you could hear the voice model picked for Hank.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Take this note. These should be the locations of all concerts we had. And sorry I was too drunk when I wrote it down.
Now, before this turns some of you off, I've got to say that all the other characters are voiced by real people that I've got to know through my aforementioned project Fallout Survivors. I used AI before for voice acting for one of my first companion mods and it was a disaster, I will admit that. But after playing with it more, I realized how far the technology got and it can now show emotion much better than those 2 years ago. Which brings me to the state of this mod and when it's going to be released. I'll be releasing Hank's base story for now and everything tied to him and the band, but I'd like to add more depth to his character by making him a large part of the base game story, and more notable main quests or even side quests. That's also why I chose to use AI for Hank, just so I can save time in the future when making new lines for him. I'm also not really sure when I will publish it, but it should be this year, hopefully. Hank was supposed to be the last mod in a longer while, but recently I got another idea inspired by Outer Wilds, a mystery exploration game which I have already reviewed on this channel. I don't really want to spoil too much, but the whole mod will probably have minimum voice acting, if any, since everything you will need is going to be on these holodiscs, recorded by different characters from 200 years ago. The main mystery behind this town is why it's still intact and why it's not recorded on any existing map. Beside the holodiscs, you will be able to use special goggles that let you see and experience the past for yourself. It will project a virtual 3D recording of the town from the year 2076 of one very specific day. The past and the present are going to be interconnected to help you find the truth which was hidden within the town. I'm not sure if this will ever be released, but I hope I will be able to do so one day. Same goes for Fallout Abyss, my underwater expansion for New Vegas with its own story and factions. I mean, writing the story and dialogues is the easiest part that comes to me relatively naturally. But I feel like I'm making this expansion too big, and it starts to feel like it's beyond my ability to work on it alone. So I have a few things in mind which I could try to do to make it possible to finish. First one would be to simply cut out most of the side activities, locations and quests, so there would be only the main story left. And maybe throughout time I would be updating that file by adding new smaller side content. The second option would be to merge two of the pressure levels together. For those who don't know, this mod has pressure levels that would prevent you from progressing unless you get enough reputation from local overseers or buy the upgrades yourself for your submarine. This would be pretty good combined with some of the content being cut, but at the same time you could access the final location of the mod right away. So instead I would probably need to figure out how to make it a bit more complicated to get to. Honestly, cutting most of the side content would be wisest, and merging the two layers doesn't sound too bad either. I just don't know if I will have time to dive into a big project like this anytime soon. And that's also why I'm thinking about releasing only Hank for now, and maybe a window to the past if I wanted to release something experimental again. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy making mods quite a lot, but it is time and energy consuming as hell. And that reminds me, Fallout Survivors has over 1000 total downloads, so thank you guys for playing it and supporting me all the way. That just about wraps the video, I think. I just wanted to share what's going on with my mod projects and what you can expect from me in the future, hopefully. So yeah, thank you for watching and all your incredible support. Right now, YouTube wise, I'm writing a review of Outer Wilds DLC, so stay tuned.